an echo. Oh, there's an echo. It's okay. Oh, there's an echo. It's okay.
They might not notice it.
Whoa. All right. Whoa. All right. Whoa. All right. Whoa. All right. There you go. Looks like something changed. Okay. There you go. Looks like something changed. Okay. Okay. Oh, someone else is here. Oh, someone else is here.
In the show or in the chat?
Trez.
In the show or in the chat?
Trez.
In the show or in the chat?
Trez.
In the show or in the chat?
Trez. Okay.
Or in the chat?
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Hey Trez, how you doing?
Doing my best.
Hey Trez, how you doing?
Doing my best.
Hey, Trez, how you doing? Oh, I got some
Doing
feedback
my best.
here. Oh, I got some feedback here. Oh, I got some.
I do not.
Oh, I got some.
I do not.
How's that?
I do not.
How's that? Can you hear me? How's that? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, it looks like I got a little
I
bit
can
of
hear you.
feedback here. Okay, it looks like I got a little
I
bit of
can hear you.
feedback here. Okay, it looks like I got a little bit of feedback here. Okay, it looks like I got a little bit of feedback here. Okay, it looks like I got a little bit of feedback here.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Huh, that's weird. Something happened with there's an echo now. That's weird. Something happened. I have no
Yeah,
clue
there
what
is an
happened
echo.
here. That's weird. Something happened. I have no
Yeah,
clue
there
what
is an
happened
echo.
here.
Yeah, there is an echo. Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. 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 Is that better now? Is that better now?
I'm not hearing an echo.
Is that better now?
I'm not hearing an echo. I'm not hearing an echo.
Hey guys, it's Courtney. Hey guys, it's Courtney.
Oh, maybe it's the earphones things. Anybody? Maybe it's the earphones things. Anybody? Maybe it's the earphones things. Anybody?
I hear the echo, but on the video. I hear the echo, but on the. You might want to. Let's see. Restart the. You might want to. The video. Restart the YouTube
I
video.
think we need a headphone. Someone has to have headphones. I think we need a headphone. Someone has to have headphones. I think we need a headphone. Someone has to have headphones. I think we need a headphone. Someone has to have headphones.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
Yeah, I got an echo on my end.
Testing, testing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no echo coming through YouTube.
No,
There's
none.
no echo
The
coming
echoes through YouTube.
No,
Not through us. The echoes through YouTube.
No, no.
Not through us. The echoes through YouTube. Not through us.
I'm not getting an echo through YouTube.
Hold on.
I'm not getting an echo through YouTube.
Hold on.
I'm not getting an echo.
Now I'm getting it on
Oh,
myself.
now I am.
Now I'm getting it on
Oh,
myself.
now I am.
Now I'm getting
Hold
it
on. I'll fix it.
Now I'm getting
Hold
it.
on.
You might want to stop the video then.
Try
You might
now.
want to stop the video then. Try now. What?
It's still echoing.
Yeah. Shut the video off. The YouTube video.
Yeah, my YouTube video is off.
YouTube video. Yeah, my YouTube video is off.
Hang on.
Yeah, delete that video. That was a bad experience right there.
Hey, it's fixed now.
Yeah, because you said you deleted the video, right? You did stop the video.
No, yeah, well, I don't know. I guess someone was testing your video. It's okay. We can start the show now. Anyway, welcome to Robotech World.
You're gonna restart the video.
It's still running.
It's still running.
Yeah, it's still running. Stop the video. Stop the video.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll just start. Well, you want to do another one?
Echoing, man.
The echo's gone.
Test.
Yeah, your guys are clear. I can hear you perfectly now. There's no echo.
Yeah, no echo.
All right. Welcome to Robotech World, everyone. Sorry for the audio issues. Today is April 5th. We got some interesting developments that occurred recently with Michael Bay. If you're not aware, Michael Bay jumped ship from Paramount, and he was in charge of the Transformers movies. And he's jumped ship, and he's now joined under the Sony umbrella. And he's going to be working on a military sci-fi flick that is kind of hush-hush for now. So the question is, Memo, you've read that article, correct?
Yeah, I read the article.
And what's your thoughts? Do you think he's jumped ship because he's going to work on a Robotech live-action movie, or is this something original?
Well, first we got to say that there's nothing that says that he's working on a live-action Robotech movie.
Okay.
First, we got to say that there's nothing out there that says Michael Bay is working on a Robotech movie. So that being said, going forward is just speculation. I think he's at Sony, and he's pitching his own project. So he's gonna do his own project first. I don't know how long that will take. I think it's probably a Netflix movie. Or a Sony, I think Sony has their own network, correct?
Yeah, I believe they own
Have Crackle.
Crackle. Yes.
Crackles. I don't have Crackle. I don't own Crackle. I mean, I don't subscribe to Crackle. I'm pretty good with my Crunchyroll, Netflix.
You're missing out on Letterkenny.
Nah.
Pitter patter. You need to get after that.
I got too much right now. I also have YouTube TV, so I got plenty of movies in there. My YouTube thing as well. So I got too much stuff. Like right now, I'm watching all Star Wars movies. I mean Star Trek movies. Back from the 70s all the way through. How far they got? Number 6. But I don't know about Crackle. If he's doing Robotech on Crackle, like let's say he does a live action series or animation or whatever, then I'll have to get Crackle, right? But right now, he's just there. And knowing his experience with transforming robots, and he was the one who pulled out a transforming robot when nobody wanted to do it with Transformers, it could be something that he could do for Robotech, even come in as producer if they let him.
You don't think there's any incentive for Michael Bay to work on a live action Robotech trilogy of movies? Would be just more of his name being splashed over onto another IP?
I think at this point it could go either way. You know, if he wants to work, he can get involved with it. If he wants to just sit back and let somebody else do it, he might produce.
Okay. Well,
I mean, he's got a lot of contacts. He's got a big name. He puts butts in seats. As much as fans love to hate the man, I mean, his success speaks for itself, and we would be fortunate to have him. As much as it pains me to say that.
Yeah, true.
But
he is attached with a couple of I believe there's a writer that's on his team that is attached to a couple of movies that are based on anime. I think one of them was Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, that was a great movie.
Yeah, so he's got a writer on his team that's working on this current movie that's called, I believe, what was it called, Memo? Black 5?
I think it's called Black Five. It's supposed to be what do you call it? This futuristic sci-fi. What do you call it? A
Military sci-fi thriller.
thriller with advanced weaponry, and that
Yes.
scared me right there. I'm like, oh, but it says that he's been working on this project since a while ago. So I'm not sure if he's going to be doing Robotech with that, but it almost sounds right down the line. But also remember, I would hate if he takes a lot of elements of Robotech into it, kind of like with Guillermo del Toro and what do you call it? What they did with Pacific Rim.
That's
You
true.
know, working on Robotech, they did Pacific Rim, something almost related.
Well, the thing with Pacific Rim is that Warner Brothers had the license to do before originally to do the Robotech adaptation into film, and it was kind of weird how there was all these promises made, and eventually they did their own thing and created like their own IP, not even related to Robotech, other than it's a mecha genre, you could say. And could this be another one of those things where Sony is gonna take advantage of owning the license to create their own IP, using Michael Bay and his idea for Black Five?
I mean,
Uh,
I wouldn't put it past him, but it's that original IP is a big risk these days, even with Bay attached.
Well, there's also another individual that's also attached to Black Five, and his name is Edwin Stoff. And I did a little bit of background check with Edwin Stoff. He's done a lot of movies. He's supposed to do that. Was he supposed to do the Akira movie, Memo?
I'm not sure.
What was his name again?
Edwin Stoff.
Gonna have to look.
Erwin Stoff. ERWIN Stoff STOFF. If you IMDb him, you'll see that he's attached to a lot of movies that are translated from an anime and go into film adaptation. I think he also did Ghost in the Shell, I believe, too.
That was another good movie.
Yeah. So it makes you wonder, with his name attached to Black Five with Michael Bay, is this military sci-fi basically movie going to be kind of like almost like anime inspired?
Well, he's certainly got the pedigree. He's got Edge of Tomorrow. He's got the Edge of Tomorrow sequel.
Yes. If you
47 Ronin.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the blind side, so he can handle character development.
So it makes you wonder, like, what's going on here.
He's got a good relationship with Keanu Reeves. He did The Lake House. He worked on The Matrix. He worked on Constantine. So we may see, if he's involved, we may see Keanu come over for a Keanu Amio.
Like, don't you find it kind of weird? You got Michael Bay attached with Transformers. He's good with CGI and effects. You got Erwin Stoff, who's got a long list of being attached to anime properties being translated to live action film. Like, it seems coincidental that all this is happening through Sony, who owns currently the IP rights to making a live action adaptation to Robotech. So it's like, is there a connection here?
Well, you got to remember, there's also the coronavirus that is affecting everything. It's a subject that it's out there. So I think with a lot of the movie franchises being pushed back, including releases are being pushed back till late this year or maybe next year. I think Sony's probably just looking around. That they're pretty much on hold on everything. So this gives an opportunity to see where everything's at. Like if Michael Bay comes over, they know his history with transforming robots. That's one thing. But I don't think they're going to start producing any Robotech right now. I think they're probably going to say, all right, well, see what you got, see what you want to do, get that out of the way. And then we got some projects here that maybe you want to look at. You know what I mean? I know Andy Muschietti's sister was on as producer with Robotech, but she is not being. She lost that, what do you call it? That privilege, I guess. She's not being showcased as a producer anymore, or Michael Muschietti as a director. But um, Michael Bay could come in as a producer as well as a director, doing two things at the same time. Um, but we're gonna have to wait till after his Black Five, whatever. What was it, man?
Yeah, Black Five. That's the tentative title for this movie. Now
Yeah,
that's tentative.
yeah. It's a Black Five production that he's been working on for a while. So since last year, and I guess they're saying, all right, Sony, we're on hold. This whole thing going out there in the world right now is not going to produce any money. Whatever movie we make right now is not going to fix a return. So let's jump on your thing, get it out of the way. And like I said, he's with Sony now, so they're just going to drop stuff in front of him. And knowing Robotech as a transforming robot from outer space and all that, and giants, it's something that could be, it's easily up his alley. And I know a lot of people out there cringing, no, but it could be a hit and miss depending how they let him walk with this production. You know,
well,
he's done good movies.
There's a question here from Greg Story in the YouTube chat. He says that maybe Black 5 is a code word for Robotech. Now, is there anything you could think of that the word?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that falls into that problem, right? Black 5 was an original. It's saying it's an original idea of
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay was working on this idea years before, so I don't see the connection, codename connection here for Robotech. You know, I think they're gonna let him do this right now. I don't know how it's gonna be work. It's something that we're gonna have to pay attention to because Trez gave us a list of his writing, the writer who's attached to it, or writing materials. That puts a big question on Jason Fuchs.
You talking about Stoff?
He was still on the project.
You talking about Erwin Stoff?
No, Jason Fuchs. He's still.
No,
on
I mean the guy you're referring to replace Fuchs. Are you talking about Erwin Stoff?
I didn't say replace. I just said he's working with Black 5.
Okay. Because I'm judging from his IMDb bio, he wouldn't be a writer. He'd be a producer. Everything he's done since 1991 would be what has been producing.
Who would be the writer? Because I know the producers are still the same ones from besides Sony. It's what are those guys from? Oh shoot, I forgot those guys' names. The ones that they've been saying they want the movie out, but you know it's taking forever, right? Oh dang, shoot, I forgot the names of the producers that are currently on Robotech right now. They work on other movies.
Alex Kurtzman is what was he?
The one with Angelina Jolie.
Oh, the one that worked on 300.
Yeah. Well, what are those guys? I forgot their company name or their production name, but they're still attached. So I'm thinking Jason Fuchs is still attached. You know, he's the last thing he posted was it hasn't stopped. Robotech hasn't stopped. But that was before this whole epidemic happened. So it's a wait and see, you know.
But it's still a thing we're gonna have to keep tabs on because it seems like it's too coincidental that they're basically pairing up a group of talent to tackle this project. And Black 5 could be Robotech related. It could be a clue.
That's where the clue falls because this project of Black 5 has been going on for before he jumped with Sony.
Was it the original?
It couldn't be like, I'm you know, during, especially when Andy Muschietti was still attached, recent as last year.
Yeah, well, wasn't the original F-14 squadron was called the Jolly Rogers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and wasn't there another squadron called the Black Aces?
There's a Black Aces.
I'm just wondering if there's a connection. And isn't a chevron like a chevron like 5 aircraft in formation?
It could be anything. The cool thing that what do you call it, Michael Bay brings is his connection with the military. His connection with the military not was only shown in Pearl Harbor, but as well in what do you call it, all through all the Transformers movies. Um, is he could get things done. He could get things moving. I know a lot of people are just like against it. They're against it, but what if he does do it? And I'm saying if you're a Black Five, what if he does jump on it?
It is a tentative title. I'm quite certain it's a tentative title.
Yeah, you got a lot of fans out there that saw what happened to Transformers.
Hold on.
I mean,
but
don't
he
get me
did-
wrong.
he-
I like Transformers #1. I understood the reboot of,
Yeah.
of the robots, but you didn't have to reboot the whole story.
Well, he did
you
well
could've-
with the first movie. He did do well with the first
did.
movie.
He did well with the first one, and I think going on to the
Bumblebee.
second one, there were problems. Second one, third one, and then it just went downhill from there. I don't know
but
if he
Bumblebee was
knew-
pretty good. Bumblebee was pretty good.
Bumblebee was supposed to be the reboot of everything. Like, okay, I guess I went off the rails. Let me reboot this thing. Bumblebee would have been a perfect setting for #1 and #2 with Witwicky. But on Robotech, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight for him to walk that tightrope. I mean, I think he'll cater. He did something good with the Transformers genre, is that he catered to younger crowds as well. You know, my kids love the Transformers movies. My kids love the transformation and all that, and the stories. You know, so
He also
even
did
thought I
the,
had problem with it. There's kids that loved it. They collect the toys. They go to McDonald's, get the little toys, the robot toys. You know, wherever they come out. You know, parents are buying the toys. You know, but what do you call it? It depends on what Sony and Harmony Go wants, and Harmony Go is gonna go along with it because it's gonna be making money and also a reboot. So if they stay close to Pearl Harbor or what do you call it, a Bumblebee, then I could see this really happening.
He also
or maybe
did
making
The Last
or
Ship.
being good. If Michael Bay he is gonna be. I ain't saying I think he has about 80% chance of being the director of Robotech, just because of his past. And after he finishes project, it's gonna be like, all right, we got a transforming robot movie right here. He'll
Heavy
look
on
at
the
it
military.
like, oh, that's easy. Yeah, that. Oh yeah, I could knock this out. You know, I got the support. I got everything. I got everybody down. Who's the writer? Jason Fuchs. All right, he'll work with my guys, work with his guys, and we'll mingle together and see what happens.
Well,
It's interesting if they bring in Bay and Erwin Stoff. Stoff has basically produced every major thing that Keanu Reeves has done since Bill and Ted. So the bigger question becomes, which character is Keanu Reeves going to play
Well, he is
Hey,
an
in
anime
in
fan.
Robotech?
He is an anime fan, so I'm quite certain he's aware of Robotech.
Since he missed out on playing Spike Spiegel, you know.
Trez. Stoff is the writer, you said? Of what? Black 5, right?
I don't know. I didn't bring him up.
I brought him up. Just hold on. I got the article here. Aaron
All right, go ahead.
Stoff will
I'm gonna get
produce
some
with
water. I'll be
Bay.
back.
Will produce.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. He would be another producer.
And,
who's the writer?
okay, so this is. Do you want me to read the entire article?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me read up on this article here. It's loading up right now. Okay. Sony Pictures is in talks with Michael Bay to direct Black 5, an ensemble drama that Erwin Stoff will produce with Bay. Sony declined to comment, but sources said this film is shaping up for an early 2020 production start, and that the script is an ensemble with a big male lead. Big male lead. Does that sound like Keanu, guys?
Yeah.
Script is being written by N. Ren Kruger. Plot is being kept under wraps, but it's big Michael Bay movie with gritty sci-fi element to it. Bay and Stoff previously collaborated on 13 Hours, the Paramount movie about the seas of Benghazi. Bay's most recently wrapped Six Underground, the big budget ensemble actioneer for Netflix that stars Ryan Reynolds. So it says here, Bay is repped by WMEE. So there's also another name attached, Aaron Kruger, EHREN Kruger,
For Black 5, right?
for Black 5, correct. I believe, let's see, isn't he a, okay, yeah, it looks like he's he's a script writer.
He did Top Gun and Brothers Grimm. He did Ghost in the Shell, Tin Man, the movie. He did several of the Transformers.
Top Gun.
Yep. He did the Ring movies.
I'm thinking Top Gun, a couple
Yeah.
of Transformers movies.
But not right now, is it?
No. But Memo, look. Let's put it all together now. It's possible, right?
If you were a big studio exec and you were going to blow $100 million wad on something, this would be the kind of people you'd be looking at. Yeah.
Right, there's some things right here on. There's already chat going on, all right?
Okay.
So let me get to the
we're
chat.
piecing this together. This is okay. Greg's story mentioned in the chat sounds like the right team possible. And you know what? If you're spending big, like what Memo said and what Trez said, if you're spending money, big money, and you're trying to collect a talented pool with people that have some interest in anime and military and sci-fi, and you want to make this happen, and the connection with the military, which Robotech is huge on. Come on. This.
Dude, but you're talking about like he jumped into Sony just to do this Robotech movie.
But Black
didn't happen
5
like
is
that.
a tentative title. It could be anything. It's tentative.
But it's his own project, and it shows everywhere we look. It shows that he was already planning this.
Yeah, but if it is his own project,
Yeah.
what if he's a fan of Robotech? What if he
Well,
is a fan of Robotech? That could be his idea.
It wouldn't be the first time that someone's project they've been working on forever gets transmorgified into something that will actually sell. So.
Oh man, you see,
Well, do you think this is going to turn
fans
into
are
another
having
Pacific
a
Rim?
storm about this.
You do think this is going to turn into another Pacific Rim?
No. I think whatever comes out of Robotech, I think it's gonna be good. It's just there's a base style into it that could be good, and there's a base style that can be, as long as they have a lot of it's a lot of things that could be Robotech, unlike Transformers. And Transformers, what I like is they brought a lot of the original voice actors, the ones that they could, and it was a good showing. But for Robotech, he could really bring back a lot of the old voice actors. I'm hoping he would. But at this point, I'm 85% that he'll jump on Robotech after this Black 5 series.
So you think this is a one shot, just to establish the team, you could say, or the.
You could say that. You could say that he's gonna do this, whatever movie he's gonna do. It's going straight to Netflix. I know a lot of fans are saying, hey, if the movie ain't gonna be out there, it should be directly to Netflix regardless, because why try to make it into a big budget and not go nowhere? Why just make it straight to Netflix, which is okay with me too. Make it a Netflix series or a Netflix direct movie, or a Sony to promote Crackle, but that would be only one. But I think after he's done with this project, and it's not going to be Robotech, it's going to be something for Netflix, and it'll probably come out maybe next year. I think he's going to have a chance of then we'll see where he's going to go, where he's going to talk, and most probably he has about 85% chance that Robotech is thrown in his way, and they're going to know Michael Bay has a history of making robot movies. So they're just going to look at him and say, man, why not? Why not go with a guy? I'm talking about the current producers, current Harmony Gold, current Sony, and
Greg's story just made another comment here. He said Greg's story in the chat made a comment saying maybe it's just a training film used to plot parts to gauge an audience for a Robotech type film.
He already did that with Transformers. You don't need to gauge a movie. Transformers, he had one, two, three, four, five, 6 movies.
Yeah, but remember, this is a
I mean, that's dude, that's a huge gauge of plethora of information for people to go and figure out what they don't like or like about Transformers to use to see if he's good for Robotech. Which I think he's good for Robotech, but I don't think he's going to take it in the direction that we all think he's going to take it.
It's not unheard of for directors to be tested before big projects. It would be weird for a director like Michael Bay to be given the shit test by Sony. That would be
I think that test
almost rude.
I could see um, Andy Muschietti being tested. I could see definitely Andy Muschietti being tested if he had a sci-fi movie with Sony, or let him do a sci-fi movie. But I don't see him being tested. What do you call it? James Wan wasn't tested. He went straight from his horror movies to
Aquaman.
Well, James Wan did Fast and the Furious, so he had some success before Aquaman.
Is it possible? Is it possible that with Erwin Stoff having connections with all those anime adaptions, and Aaron Kruger with his writing prowess in turning scripts for almost like the same particular genre, do you think this is just a test of Sony trying to make actually attempting to make anime huge and like make it succeed in film, and they want to do Black 5 first before they tackle Robotech, because Robotech would be a much larger investment, so maybe a smaller project like Black 5 would test the waters for Sony?
Well, I would say the only way that would work along that thinking would be if they're planning out on doing, like, everybody says Robotech's a tentpole franchise, right? You're gonna have, maybe 3 movies for Macross, 2 for Masters, 2 for New Gen, and beyond. That's a lot of stuff. Like, if they're gonna treat it like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they may want to have like a dry run movie, get all the elements in place, have them make Black 5 and see how it goes, see if there's any personality conflicts before, they jump in whole hog to a Robotech commitment. So I mean that could be what they're doing, but otherwise it'd be kind of rude. Like, hey, Michael Bay, we're gonna make you do this other piddly project.
True.
First, that would be unusual, especially like Bay and Erwin Stoff. Stoff's been doing this for 30 years, so these are not young people that have anything to prove.
But I could see we just gotta wait and see if Jason Fuchs and this new guy, the new writer of this current project, they might get together and figure out Robotech. It could happen, because Jason Fuchs would have to rewrite a lot of stuff because it was under Andy Muschietti's treatment. So if Andy Muschietti's been scrapped, because they haven't said nothing official, but if he's been scrapped, then what do you call it? And the writer Jason Fuchs would have to rewrite the whole thing, regardless. So unless
that wouldn't be unusual. I mean, if they bring in a big name actor, they're going to rewrite it anyway to suit that actor. So I mean, that's not a big deal.
Well,
it's just whether or not they keep Jason to do it.
Greg's story mentioned maybe a prequel to Robotech. Wouldn't a prequel to Robotech would be something like the Robotech graphic novel?
I would think more of the side story they did for the comics, the Titan comics.
Yeah, the Robotech 2003 or whatever it was comics.
Because if that big name was, say, Keanu Reeves, he would make a good Zor.
Hey, check out the comments, man, because the comments are pretty good right now.
Zor, yeah, right there. Zor's
on the YouTube comments, man.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves as Zor. Why not?
No, I'm talking about you missing other guys, man. Moses Cortez will never happen. I'm sorry to say that. I'm down with you, man. I'm down with you, Moses. I'm hearing you out. But what do you call it? I don't think. I think he has a good chance of doing it, but I don't think he's going to do that first. I think it's a setup. Everything he's going to do is going to be a setup. I think he's going because his project kind of reminds me of Spectral. Spectral was a Netflix movie, correct, Matt?
Yeah, it was. It's by Nick Matthew. He was originally attached to do the Robotech adaptation a couple years back.
That was back with Warner.
Yeah.
Back when he was doing commercials.
Yep, that's right.
Which were very sci-fi and fun.
Yep, and Spectral was a pretty decent Netflix movie, like for an early Netflix original. It wasn't too bad.
Before they were all garbage.
Yeah.
And they're turning out pretty good movies in Netflix nowadays. So what do you call it? With this current project that Michael Bay is doing, of course I'm going to pay attention because not only because he's Michael Bay, but because he's at Sony and he knows shit about transforming robots. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he knows transforming robots. These guys, Sony Productions, what do you call it? Jason Unari. Oh yeah, there you go. Was it Jason Unari? Jason Unari and the other producer.
It's not coming to me right now.
The producers of Robotech currently and before and currently. I think it was Jason Unari. I think they don't see it as a fanboy type of movie. They don't see it as like we see it as it should be. And Harmony Gold kind of just let that thing loose. They're like, whatever they do, it's this and that. As long as they follow this and that, the legalities of this and that, you know, what they're allowed to use. That's all they care. You know, it's not going to be where Harmony Gold is going to be like, oh, let me see the script, rewrite this, rewrite that. I don't see that happening. But they'll have a say in what can be used and what can't be used, other per legal rights. But
yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. You know, we got a couple of months, and hopefully something turns up with Black 5. But speaking of big cast, Memo, Cam Clark. Let's talk about Cam Clark. Cam Clark has been releasing a series of roundhouse discussions with former Robotech voice actors.
Right. Yeah, they Cam Clark did 2 episodes that loaded up. He did his own 35th anniversary for the fans. He has a fan following, not just because of Robotech, but he does a lot of stuff out there. He voices a lot of stuff, so he has a huge following, and plus he knows the cast, right? So he did this for the fans. He did it out of his own home. Brought him over and did videos or a couple of videos, and he just cut them up into part 1, part 2, and just a big thank you to the fans for their support. And they talked a little bit about what was it to be working there, what they all did, and of course how they went from Robotech to other things after Robotech, after the 85 episodes was over, how they went and to other productions, from Power Rangers to other movies. And there was a lot of movies that I've seen, and I already knew about the voice actors. But back then, I didn't follow the cast of the old movies. Like, what was the other one? The Roaches one? I'm trying to remember the name of the one with the roaches. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention to the cast, but it was good to find out later that, oh, so and so did this voice and so did this other voice. So,
well, I know Cam Clark did. Was it the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Mike, was it Donatello?
I'm trying to think if it's Donatello, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't follow the new Ninja Turtles. I just followed the old series. But even then, I didn't know the voice actors of the old series.
Yeah, because I know Cam Clark was one of the turtles. And
he was Leonardo, I believe.
Leonardo, yes, that's right.
Oh, the original, right? Cartoon or?
Yeah, the original cartoon.
The original cartoon, yeah. So what do you call it? He did something for the fans, so it was on his own. He did it on his own. He tagged Horticulture Con, which is an event that I do with other fans. and at with Robotoy Fest, the guy who owns the the convention event, but he gives us a space to do a Protocol Chicon Robotech convention. But this was something on his own, something that he did it out there for the fans, which was awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
and
it was pretty good.
yeah, it was really cool seeing that. And I think it had excellent feedback with the fans because they really got into those two videos that he did, the part one and part two, and it seems like it boosted up uh, their morale into like future Robotech projects. Maybe something's coming up with the original cast. Like it'd be interesting to see what happens through this because
Any original things with the cats, it has to be produced through Harmony Gold and Sony.
mhm.
I know they've been trying to pitch Academy. They're trying to pitch Shadow Rising. You know, whatever they could, but as long as they don't want to put money into it, they're they're not gonna do nothing. You know, I don't think them doing anything. They had to do it for Shadow Chronicles, and I think that was the best thing to do is like they did Shadow Chronicles and continue another movie, and fans would buy it up and whatnot. But they just took the wrong turn. They did something wrong back then where they gave all the car keys to Warner Brothers and they knocked them out. You know, it became almost a dead IP. You know, it took forever to return with the toys and all that, and I don't know if people are buying or not. There's some things that I buy, not I don't buy everything, but just because it's Robotech, but they really need to come out with an animation, you know, an animation support, you know, because it's there's nothing out there. If it's going to be the movie, then it's just going to be the movie, and it would be something Sony would do with animation, and by then you'll lose a lot of voice actors. I mean, they're not getting any younger either. You know, they've been waiting for a project, and like, come on, guys, give us a project to do, give us some voicing to do, you know, which they almost did with Academy, but that thing also dropped the ball.
Yeah, I guess with these uncertain times that we're living in, it's I don't see anything coming out of Hollywood in general. I think what
Right.
productions have been pushed back now for releases. Well, for certain movies to be produced, and also some movies that were supposed to be released this spring got pushed back, or even this summer have been pushed back to next year. So it's
Yeah,
tough
Ghostbusters
times right
one that
now.
was, yeah, Ghostbusters was one that was ready to see.
Eh,
Um,
Top Gun Maverick is not going to be this year anymore. It'll be next year.
Top Gun was another one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Uh, it's just everything's falling apart right now for a lot of the production companies. So that's why I think that Michael Bay is not going to do Robotech. I think he's going to do his own little project, and I definitely think they're going to be talking about him more. You know, so we'll see.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much sums up the latest on Robotech, and Trez and
Let
Memo.
me
Thank you.
see. Let me see the chat right here.
Okay.
Let's look at these guys went on their own over here. Somebody's asking that Robotech got taken out of Netflix. Is that true? I haven't checked Netflix for Robotech. Um,
I can check real quick.
yeah, Robotech Law. Mary Crystal will be the leader of the Black Lions.
Yeah, she was in
Uh,
the Black Lion Squadron. That's right. And Black Beauty was one of the team members, I think.
well, so Greg is the one.
I forgot about that.
What, Black Beauty?
Black Beauty got
Yeah,
shot down.
yeah, Black Beauty, Black Beauty. Yeah.
What do you call it? Yeah, they could go. If anything, they could do the start of kind of like they did with Bumblebee. The whole Cybertron war. That was pretty awesome with the original designs of that we remember,
Yeah,
Soundwave,
Optimus, and yeah, that's true.
they could do something like that for Zor's introduction in Genesis. That's what Greg Story says here. Bright with Will Smith was pretty good on Netflix, so that's another good series in there. But it kind of remind me of Lord of the Rings, but yeah.
Yeah, Robotech is off of Netflix. What do you know?
I wonder if it's on any of Sony's channel. Crackle.
I wonder if it's still on Amazon.
It's not on YouTube, as far as I can tell.
It should
I
be
remember
on.
they said they were going to be pulling it down and putting it on Funimation, didn't they?
I don't know.
If I
I don't have
recall,
information.
they announced that it was going to be on. It was coming to Funimation, and they were going to pull it down from everywhere else.
Is Funimation still producing anime? Are they
Yeah.
still funding anime projects?
Yeah, they're funding projects and persecuting their voice actors, and all kinds of fun.
Well, didn't they say that everything is being handled by Sony now? They gave all the rights to Sony.
I mean, they're owned by Sony.
Funimation.
No, I
So
mean Robotech. I mean the Robotech. They took all the production rights. I mean, they didn't sell the IP, but I'm trying to say is they basically took over of everything that Harmony Gold had. I wonder if it would be in Crackle.
Well, I know it's still on Amazon Prime. I've seen.
I see it on there still.
And Tubi as well, which I think Tubi is also owned by Sony.
They're
Oh,
probably
no, by
waiting for
Amazon.
they're probably waiting for the contracts to expire. They probably have like a non-compete in place, and then once that expires with Amazon, they'll move it over to Funimation because it's not on Funimation yet.
Well,
But it was on Crackle. I remember that.
Well, it would have been interesting to see. I think this week this week would have been WonderCon, but that ain't happening. And the next convention is going to be.
Yeah, it's still on Crackle.
I don't think there's going to be a convention anytime soon. The only one that I could think of is San Diego Comic Con. They haven't canceled that one. Anime Expo. I think the last thing I heard, I got an email from them. If you want to pull out of your hotel, you can pull out of your hotel. What do you call it? What do you
Your
call it?
contract?
And because they give you a discount, but you could pull out, and because a lot of people because of the fear, they're not going to go to Anime Expo. So that would be the only one. They haven't canceled Anime Expo yet, so that'd be the only convention where Harmony Gold might show up on January.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on with the comics? Like, are they still going to be distributed?
They are not.
It stopped.
Yep.
It stopped at 5, I think, right? 4 or 5. They stopped
Yep.
at.
They stopped at number 4, I
Okay.
believe. Number 5 was solicited, and then it got pulled, and it's currently listed as being scheduled for resolicitation later in the year. And after that happened, Diamond decided, we're not going to pay anybody, and threw their hands up and went home. So
Diamond,
there are bigger
is the
problems in
distributor.
comics.
They're the
Yes.
distributor, right, for all the major
For Marvel
labels.
and DC and
all the comics took a hit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
all
what,
the comics.
what's going to happen now?
There may not be comics after Corona.
They're not gonna, well, that's what seems like there's an implosion that's occurring in the comic book industry, and
Well, to be fair, the SJWs at Marvel don't seem all that concerned about the fact that they can't sell a book to save their lives. DC's not so bad, but it's a big boon for the independent people.
if they can find
there's a lot of people that got chased out of the comics industry by the people who do the chasing out, and so they're doing fine. They've got their own independent distribution set up. One company that I follow, Castelia House, is they haven't missed a beat. Books, comics, but for the big names that are wrapped up in the old format and the comic book stores, I mean they're dropping like flies. Comic book stores.
Yeah, it's over here as well. They just
nobody wants to buy the books they're putting out.
Everything just stopped.
So what does that mean for our, like, I don't care about the other ones. I care about Robotech comics. Like, what's gonna happen to
Well,
them?
Robotech falls in that category.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Regardless, I mean, everybody's taking a hit. The big names are taking a hit.
yeah,
And you're
but
thinking Robotech's not gonna.
is Titan still healthy? They
I
Everybody
haven't
just stopped.
I haven't heard much good or bad about Titan. Now, digital distribution is still available to them, so they may go digital only for a while and then do print comics later on. You know, like a special print edition or something. But yeah, with Diamond out of the picture, they're probably scrambling. You know, what are we gonna do? You know, well, they'll probably. If I had to guess, what they're going to do is stuff it in Amazon and let Amazon's logistics take over, you know, for Diamond. But that would not be good for the comics industry because Amazon doesn't know how to ship books. Every one I get from them is tore up.
Damn.
That's not
Damn.
good.
Now
Well,
they do sell a lot of the Robotech comics through Right Stuff, which is where I buy a lot of my anime, and they do a great job shipping. So if Titan wants to throw the paper comics up on Right Stuff, that would just make my day.
is Right Stuff still okay with their distribution business? Because
Oh yeah,
okay,
I got a package from them just yesterday, I believe. So they're slow, just like everybody else. They're running a skeleton crew,
Mhm.
but they're still shipping out. You know, they're up there in one of those middle of nowhere flyover states, so they got social distancing down pat, just like us in Texas.
Okay,
They're good to go.
all right. So
So that's yeah, that's where everything's at with the movies stopped, the comics are stopped, so Robotech is in there. I
so
don't know if
it stopped at number 4, issue 4.
I
yeah,
believe so. Yeah, let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
yeah, I think it's 4. I think everybody was waiting on 5, which never happened.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out last month.
Okay. So we're not. Do we have anything like anything official from Harmony Gold trying to, like, anyone representative of them to give
As
us
far as I know, there
a
has been
statement?
no official announcement so far, but you know, the world's coming to an end. Kev's at the compound. He's not going to be chiming in for a
Kev's
while.
at the compound. Steve Yoon is quarantined. So if I don't see those two guys going to work, I don't see everybody going to work over there in LA right now. Everybody all the way from San Diego, a lot of people that I know had 2 weeks off from work. Nobody's going to work, so there's nothing being done right now.
Oh wow, I'm back at work tomorrow.
I've been working, so what do you call it?
Yeah.
I'm the only thing that dropped was the hours, but that's good. I go back to doing what I was doing.
I got laid off, so I'm chilling at the house.
Already.
Well, you know,
So yeah,
there's always some things we can do together if we wanted to, like maybe do some fan projects if there's enough of us around.
I mean, the good news is Kev has nothing but time to come on the show with us.
That's right.
but I don't think he could talk about anything, and everything's on hold. I mean,
We could watch him dance around on the head of a pin for an hour. It'll be fun, just like the conventions.
a virtual convention, we could do that. You know, where Tommy comes and does a panel,
Well,
and these guys start
actually,
talking.
you know, if anyone's interested in the chat, they could call us in. We have a call-in feature that allows people in the chat to give us you know, like if they want to ask questions directly or be part of the show instead of just being in the chat, they could call us.
Yeah, we'll do that. Do that, guys. Other than that, I got nothing else.
Maybe for the
It's
next show we'll do that.
basically dead out there. So there's nothing much other than Michael Bay dropping that one hint of, well, not dropping a hint, but being part of Sony now. And he brings a lot. And Sony, I know, knows that he brings a lot. So I know there was a lot of anybody but Michael Bay, but I guess it ain't going to happen. So let's see how far it goes with that rumor or that idea. But basically, everything's dead until everything goes back to normal.
Did Harmony Gold had anything planned for the summer convention besides Anime Expo?
WonderCon, Anime Expo, and San Diego Comic Con.
All canceled, right?
Anime Expo has not canceled. They're on what do you call it?
Hiatus.
Day by day.
Okay.
But people are canceling regardless because it's like get my money back and just like me and my kids. That work. Me and my daughter are thinking of just missing this year.
Is this the first time that you could ever think that Harmony Gold never attended a convention during the summer convention season? Like, would this be the first year since '85? I'm just
they missed Anime Expo I think twice in their run, but they haven't missed Comic Con. Comic Con they've been up and down, small rooms, big rooms, medium rooms, wherever they put them. But they've been at the table as well, so that's something good as well. But Anime Expo and Comic Con are probably the only two ones that they could still go, but it all depends on California because California is very strict on everything right now.
So this is going to be a lost year for a lot of things in anime and comics and in Hollywood in general. It's
well, you got to see
impact.
what Japan is. Japan as well. I think Japan is on lockdown. You know.
Are there any anime productions currently on a hiatus out there?
I was following a couple of animes, and a lot of them got pushed back. My daughter was telling me because she follows a lot of anime, so she told me a lot of projects got pushed back, and it's just the way it is over there right now.
Wow.
I don't know if it's everybody thing. Talked to some friends that are over there in Japan, and they says, man, the panic is setting in over there too. So.
Wow. Well, maybe we could do something online, something.
Well, that's where that's where we're at now. I guess it's up to the fans. There's a lot of things that you could do. I'm trying to get the 3D design of what do you call it? The one fighter we talked about.
The Gamma Fighter.
The Gamma Fighter. So we're trying to build a 3D design of that transformation. See if we can get it done. But
I've been playing with Blender.
Learning Blender. Blender is like the only free source out there right now if you want to do 3D design, and then go from there.
Yeah.
I've been watching some other old, what do you call it, CG projects, like the Gundam one.
Yep.
There's another one. I got to send it to you. So just ideas tossing out there.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Anything else, guys?
I think we're good. I think next time we do a show, it's either going to be a round table discussion with fans, maybe a call-in show, just to talk about whatever they want to talk about in regards to Robotech. Other than that, unless we get some new news, I don't think there's going to be much coming out in the next little while.
All right, then I'm out of here. I work tomorrow.
All right, Memo. Nice to have you on the show, and same to you, Trez. Thanks for both of you coming on. And I want to also thank those that stayed on the chat and asked and participated on the show as well. And we'll see you next time on Robotech World. Until then,
and thanks to guys that joined us on the chat, especially Greg Story.
Yep.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for the nest. Okay. So.
All right.
I think I cracked the Black 5 code while we were talking.
Oh.
I think he's got an actress in mind who's 5 feet tall to play Claudia. I think that's where they're going with that.
We'll see.
All
right, guys. Catch you guys on.
All right, Memo. See ya, Trez, see ya, Memo, and we'll see you guys next time on Robotech World. Ciao.